So what we have here is 8 years of exchange and collaboration between myself, Joyce Majewski, and Z Moravitz. I live in the Yukon Territory in northern Canada, and Z lives in
I live in Inverness, California.
So we've started our collaboration with this body of work here, with 52 times 2 postcards. So we decided to send a postcard to each other every Friday through the mail.
For a year. And then the postcards, we had no theme, but the postcards got more and more elaborate as time went by and included little booklets and pop-ups. As long as it fit within the 5.5 by 7 or 5 by 7.
The second exchange we did was this alphabet exchange, which was a little bit more, a little bit more set as it was an alphabet. And we divided up the alphabet and did the capitals the first part of the year, and then responded to each other's capitals in the second half of the year with the small letters. So they end up, we're making things in the other person's style a little bit more, which was fun. So there's the colors that we had and the feel of the letters were sort of reflected one to the other. And then we did another year of alchemy, so everything alchemical. Z was working on a book about alchemy, so that as she was doing her research, her postcards reflected that quite a bit. For me, my postcards are more around nature and science, and I was doing some work around the north, so a lot of them have to do with northern biology and northern processes, but still with that chemistry and alchemy and the mystery of how things are made.
Well, yeah, I started to interject creatures like this from the natural world instead of alchemical things every so often, just to respond to Joyce's involvement in nature. And we have a theme, but we don't beat each other up about following it completely.
There's got to be that theme. It's not that work.
No, we want to have fun with this, right? Especially if you're doing it every week for a year, you really want to have some just joy out of it.
So these are more the exchanges, and then we actually have a few years, 3 years for sure, where we've done more collaborative work. So we started by making a piece about the Yukon River in the Miles Canyon area, and we each started one of these pieces of rice paper at the ends, and then worked on my studio in the Yukon first with it, and then I came down to California and worked with Z in her studio, and to bring those pieces together, and a huge level of trust, between each other as to how we handle each other's work, and the respect we have for the artwork and for each other's, marks on it. So we're always looking to the work as the piece as having the answer about what needs to be done. We're not trying to overwhelm each other on the paper. Looking at the piece and figuring what can we do to kind of make it sing, and have fun with that. So we have these accordion-fold books.
We try to be sensitive to each other's palette and composition.
That was the wabi-sabi theme, right? That one. So we were.
The first one.
This was
Yeah,
the wabi-sabi
yeah,
one. So we were looking at the aesthetic of aging and thinking about it going through the mail a lot and getting
beat up and
which it didn't.
rusted and busted, and that was the idea.
It remained intact, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should beat it up a little bit more, throw it in the water or something. Yeah.
So, and again, the pieces we exchanged the pieces, and at any given time, Joyce probably had 3 of them in her studio, and I probably had 3 of them or 4 of them in my studio. So they just kind of assembled each other. They just accumulated enough on them that we could say, okay, this one's done.
It's done.